For more from the Azeri perspective, let's cross live to France 24's Catherine Norris-Trent. Catherine, what's the mood on the streets in Baku this Thursday where you are?
Sanam, there is a great deal of national pride and fervour and support for the army here in Baku. The Azeri flag is flying from windows, balconies and cars and shops. And just this morning, as we were driving around the city, we saw a contingent of young men who'd been recruited as soldiers heading off to the front. So some very emotional scenes there. And we also interviewed people who told us that they were displaced from the Nagorno-Karabakh region 30 years ago when this conflict first flared up after the fall of the Soviet Union, who said they still hoped to return to what they called their motherland. So an awful lot of enthusiasm for this conflict on the surface of it. Again, the reminder of our working conditions here. We're here with an official Azeri visa. We have an official minder accompanying with us all the time. But, you know, this is the message we're getting repeated again, this national pride and a desire now among people here to take back the territory of Nagorno-Karabakh.
Catherine, let's now move on to the diplomatic angle. Talks are taking place in Geneva this Thursday. What are Azeri officials saying to you?
Yeah, we've been speaking with officials behind the scenes who say that, you know, their foreign minister, Ceyhun Bayramov, is in Geneva for talks. But one of the first things he'll be doing is talking about the structure of the mediation process itself. So he is going to be talking about the chairing of the OSCE Minsk Group, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, which for 30 years has been trying to oversee mediation efforts. And it's chaired by the US, Russia and France. And officials here in Baku are very unhappy about France's involvement. They're unhappy about Emmanuel Macron's pronouncements on Turkey, what they perceive as his support for Armenia. So they're going to be asking perhaps questions about that very structure. So it's going to be a slow process diplomatically, I think we can gather from that. There are going to be no head-to-head meetings, we believe, between Armenian officials and Azeri officials. We're told the Azeri foreign minister is set to be in Geneva for 2 to 3 days, and we'll try and get more on what's going on behind the scenes there.
So potentially very slow negotiations there in Geneva. Catherine Norris-Trent, thank you so much for that update from Baku.